Hello everyone. Today I'm just playing with some of my scraps from Lavish laces. I haven't started yet. I have started, but I haven't started with laces yet. I've just ripped up some music into jaggedy strips. They're just out of a music book. And I thought I would put the camera on and we can play together. So I have this little pouch here that I made exclusively for my Lavish laces scraps, but it's getting quite full now. As you can see, it's pretty full in there, so I need to use some of them. There's lots of different things, lots of bits of lace and things like that I can use. At the end of a doily in there, some scraps of fabric, and just the end bits of some. This is the end bit of one lace, probably a bit big to be in there if I'm honest, so I might just put that with my laces rather than in my scraps, because I only call them scraps if they're quite small. See, this is another one. This is a beautiful lace, and that's all I've got of it. So maybe we'll start with that. That might be a good one to start with, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make some like little page edge things. I'm not going to give them a name. I'm quite sure other people have made this sort of thing. Get the right scissors. Lots of different, they're just snippets. So I'm just going to cut around like that. I don't really want any sharp pointy bits on it, so I'm going to just curve the edge part there. So we're going to start with that, and I'm just going to lay that down like that. I know it looks quite wide, but just bear with me, and hopefully it'll all work out in the end. So let's just cut that up there as well, and cut the sharp bits off like that. I'll make them a bit different, put them in different places. I hope everybody's keeping well. It's Saturday morning here. It's lovely and cool. It does have waves of humidity come by every so often, but we'll concentrate on the coolness. I love this. But I don't really want to use that here. This to me would be lovely on a little flip in a journal, so I'm not going to use that on this project. We've got something like this. See how it's quite pointy? I'm just going to curve that a little. That one's alright. So we can put that one like that. We don't have to have them straight across. I can tilt it a bit like that. I want a bit of lace hanging over the edge of each side though. I've got a bit of this left. I'll put that there. I might be able to use that at the end. Let's have a look. Pull some more out. And if there's one that doesn't really have a obvious design to it, I can just go kind of just curve it like that. Decide which way I want it on there. Sometimes there's an obvious right and wrong way. I think that's the wrong way, so I can put that there. What else? Here's another one. Use a bit of this. Okay, put that there like that. And what I'm going to do is go through my scraps and find all the little bits that are going to be useful for this. I don't have to use just lace. I can use a little bit of embroidery anglaise as well, which I think I will do. And with this one, rather than cutting it like that, I'm just going to cut it like that. Okay, a bit of that there. Okay, so I'm going to do that. There's another piece of that one as well, so I'll use that, and then I'll be back once I've gone and show you how it looks. What I've got is this little bit of doily here. See, that's got that little one there to balance it. Oh, and that one's got one down there, I think. Yeah, I could bring it up a little, like that. I think. Like that. Okay. I think that should be alright. Did I take that? Oh no, it's over there, isn't it? I could put that there. That one. To take the top off it a bit because it's got a stain. And it's just, I don't mind stains, but if they're a bit too... Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it like that. That could work. Yeah. Like that. Yes, that's better, isn't it? Okay. I could be here all day if I'm not careful. So now what I need to do is kind of secure it. So let's get our little pins. And now you could glue this if you wanted to. It's just I want to put it through the washing machine. I want to put this through the sewing machine, so I don't want glue underneath it while I'm sewing. So I'm just going to strategically put a few pins in. You know, I shouldn't be using these because there's paper behind. I'm going to use the other ones. These are the cheaper ones that came from Temu that are still very good, but they're a little bit longer. And, well, I just prefer to keep my good ones for fabric, I think. So let's just pin all this on as best we can. Perhaps not every single little piece will get pinned, but it's enough for me to pick it up and put it under the sewing machine. So I'll go ahead and do the other two. So they've all been done, and now what I want to do is put it through my sewing machine. And what I want to do is do 2 stitching lines down the center, probably about a half an inch apart. So I want perhaps one line there and one line there coming down through. That's why the paper was a quite wide strip of paper to begin with. So I'm just going to use a straight stitch for that and do 2 lines on each of those, making sure I get each of the laces under at least one of those lines, and then I'll be back. Alright, so they're all done, and the lines don't have to be perfectly straight at all because the paper's not in a straight line. And also you want to be catching all the laces and bits that you've got on there. So I'll just cut those threads off. And then what you need to do, and I'm not going to use my fabric scissors for this, use my paper ones. Turn it over so you can see your lines and just cut up the center of that. Like that. And like that. Now you can use a contrasting stitch if you want. You can use a zigzag stitch or anything like that. But what you end up with is 2 page edges. And if you feel one is poking out more at the bottom, you can flip it. It might look better at the bottom of the page. Or you can trim it up a little bit. There's nothing to say you can't trim it up. You can cut it up to put on top of tags and things like that. They're just snippets. That's what they are. And they've, you know, they've been around for a long, long time. It's just when I made my last journal, this is how I did my page edges, and I really like the way it turned out. And it was easy because I'm making 2 at one time, and they look quite effective on the page. And obviously, you know, you do what you want with them, but I think they're quite nice. There we go. And I just came down with the, oh, it's still on a really large stitch. It doesn't matter, it's going to hold. Came down one, went across and went up. I didn't bother about, you know, finishing it or anything like that because it's all going to be glued to the page anyway. And then once it's on the page, or you can stitch it to the page. You don't have to glue it to the page. You can just stitch it. And that way you can use a contrasting thread for whatever colour you're going through in your work as well. So there we go. There's some lovely little snippet edges you can use. Where's a piece of paper that I can I put it all away, I think. Oh. Yeah, let's just pretend this ledger sheet here is a side of a page, and that's the kind of look you like. Now if you don't want that darker colour poking out so much, you can just trim it off a little bit under there. There's another one. And of course the beauty about it is you can use it at the top of your page as well. That looks pretty, doesn't it? Or you can use it on the other side of the page. In fact, you can use it in the crease of the page if you wanted to, because they're not too bulky. They're very thin, actually. Most of the laces are flat laces that I've used. You can also come along now and... Where did I put it? Oh, here we go. I knew I had some left over from the other day. You know, put little embellishments on it. These are just my little flowers that I love to put in my journals. You can just add little embellishments or flowers or charms and things like that. So it's just a fun little idea to use your scraps. Like I said, it's a snippet. Lots of people do snippets. So I've got quite a few on my channel. Other people have got quite a few on their channels and things like that. But it's just an easy way to use up your scraps. Something must have fallen off. Oh, here it is. Over at my sewing machine. I knew something was missing. I can just go back to my sewing machine and stitch over that now. You know, you could even add embroidery to it if you wanted to. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I've just set them out to take a photo of them. And how lovely does it look when they're all together, just slightly overlapping. So you could use them like that as well. Maybe put them on a cover of a journal or something. But I quite like the way that looks, at least in the viewfinder. So take care, everybody. Bye.